Let me know when you're ready. Talk real quick.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yo. Alright, cool. Shit. I don't know why I'm nervous. I would have
Trying to say something crazy.
Nah. So what's up, man?
What's going on, baby?
Long time coming.
Yeah. Been waiting for this forever.
So Doves Cry 2, the album,
Yeah.
released.
It did, yeah.
How do you feel about it? You know, we're what, like a few weeks out now?
Yeah, we're a few weeks out. So basically, it was a good release. I know that initially I went in wanting it to be a little longer.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, why'd you cut it to 3 records?
Just the Eddie rock.
Eddie thing?
Yeah, the 3-song theory is like, just that idea that you want to leave them wanting a lot more than you gave them. If they want more, then you're doing something right. So just keep it as quality as possible.
I still feel like, I agree, but I still feel like, at least with that album,
Yeah.
you built it up so much,
Yeah.
you could have made it a little longer.
But I'd rather you feel like that than feel like you got what you need. Yeah, because now you still want more. As long as I can always leave people wanting more. So the goal is to now starting to figure out that balance between, how many more I can give them.
So we spoke about Rise before, and I remember you telling me you weren't satisfied with the body of work. Are you satisfied with this one?
So I wasn't satisfied with Rise because I realized I was just rushing it just to make sure I was putting out a project every 3 months or so. So I didn't want to miss my, what I thought was my deadline. Do I feel like Doves Cry 2 is everything I wanted it to be? Never. No project's everything I wanted it to be. But did it do what it was supposed to do? Yeah. I feel like it was a quality music. It hit exactly what it was supposed to hit. Right. I touched on what I had to touch on, and that was just...
Are you still gonna push it with videos?
Yeah. So there's some content that's gonna come out soon, within the next month and a half that's around some of the songs. We're working on playlists and things like that. But everybody who knows me knows I'm already working on the next thing. So I just want to use it as being strong music in my catalog. Keep moving forward.
After the album dropped, there was an event. We worked on an event together.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you tell it, man. How did you feel about the event?
So the event took a lot more work than I thought it was gonna take. Yeah. I tried to I'm always extra, so I tried to pull everybody I know in the city and just make that move. It was dope. I had a really big idea. I was telling you every day, I want 400. Yeah. I want the whole world to be here. Yeah. And I was trying to cash in every favor to get it, but we still had this 200, 250 kind of crowd, and it was,
which is good, especially good for a local headliner show.
It was good, but I'm not satisfied, But of course, it was good to see that many people out there who really just genuinely fuck with me. Yeah. I think our interview was dope, that was different, and then it just made me hype knowing that next year, if I do a show, I can go so much harder now. Yeah.
For next show, are you going to also pull it for this show? You had a lot of people perform also. Yeah. Are you gonna do that again for the next?
I don't think I it depends on what the music is sounding like. Mm-hmm. But I felt like I was trying to rely on that idea of I just need my project to be performed the way that I recorded it. Right. And I just think that now, based off of who I am, I don't need to lean so heavily on other people.
You on fire right now, bro.
I'm not on fire right now. I ain't shit. But so I think next time I'm just gonna keep up that idea of just me and a couple of people, and I just overdo it.
Yeah. What is something you learned from that event? Good and bad.
So I learned one big thing is know your worth. I feel like I didn't know what I could do going into it, and so now I go into any situation. From then on, I got a lot more leverage, understanding what my potential is.
AKA the price went up.
And then on top of that, I was trying to do right by a lot of people. I was just trying to throw money around and try to make sure everybody was good. But I feel like before you do that, you got to know what people are gonna bring to the table. I was just trying to feed people off the love, and I think that it just ended up in a situation where I was still doing the work that they were supposed to be doing.
You overextended yourself,
exactly.
Bro.
So,
yeah, I mean, you talked about that before the event.
Can't mix the love in the business.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky because you want to show love to people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to feel like you're getting hustled, right? You want everybody to eat.
You want everybody to eat, but you don't want to get taken for a ride. And I feel like, I wouldn't say that people try to take me for a ride, but I feel like I just got taken for a ride in that situation. So just
you got taken for a ride. Yeah. You don't want to say it, I'll say it. Niggas hustled you, bro.
Well, that's cool because now I know.
Yeah, it's cool
because it ended up good regardless,
Yeah. Nah, it's not. I'm not upset about the event at all. I'm actually very happy about. I'm proud of the event.
Yeah.
Like, I know leading up to it, I was a little.
You're like,
I was, a little anxious, frustration, whatever. But when it's all said and done, I believe we did something. Me, you, and Brian. By the way, shout out to GCL. I feel like us three, we did something that's. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it's never been done.
It's not been done like that I've seen, you know. Yeah. So it was quality.
Right. So I'm very happy with the event. It taught me a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, it taught me a lot about patience, and it taught me a lot about planning. You know.
But you just showed up cool as always, you know.
I try not to break under pressure, bro.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm sure you know, this game will definitely. It'll take you for a ride. You know, it's a roller coaster.
It will.
An emotional roller coaster and the mental roller coaster.
Every day.
Even the physical, because you lost your voice almost that day.
Yeah, man, I was going way too hard in practice. So like, I was just I was so afraid. I had so much anxiety. I was like, I gotta practice this 100 times, and I have to just become a little bit more like chill with myself. You know.
Yeah. So do you feel like, when it's all said and done, right? The album came out.
Yeah.
The event came out. Had a lot of people show up. Do you feel like, I know like. Last year, the top MCs list was like a big thing. Do you feel like you're up there now? Like,
so what I told me and Eddie talk about all the time, shout out to Eddie Rod, is just like that list don't mean nothing in general, but like it means something like just because you live here, you know. And I looked at that list last year, and that was my whole goal. So I think that from November all the way till maybe April, that's the only thing I cared about. Was like I want to be named with these people. And then I started to look around and realize like that's not my goal. But if I would make the list today, I think I'm somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think people need to understand that about the list, man. Yeah. Like it's important. Don't get me wrong. You do want to be recognized for what you're doing.
Exactly.
You do want people to see the hard work and all the pain, all the sacrifices you make. But it's not the end all be all.
Because niggas who know you, they know you.
And you being on that list, it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, of being a national recording artist where you
don't do nothing. If you go back and look at that list, there's a lot of people that's on that list. You look at it today, they're not nowhere closer to getting the deal that they want, and that's no shot to them. That just means that the list didn't do that for them, so they got to do it for themselves.
Right. So now, you know, again, the show, the album.
Yeah.
I kind of went out on a limb and I said, "You're the hottest in the city," right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe it stirred up. Maybe it was the beginning because it's been it's been a crazy week and a half.
It's been a little while recently.
So do you feel like maybe it stirred up some shit? Do you feel like now that you're seen as a guy that's quote unquote doing it locally, do you feel like there's now some jealousy, animosity, or do you feel it, or you don't?
I feel a lot of different things right now. So one thing I feel for sure is like that. I have a big base in a lot of different areas, but this area is made up of a lot of different pieces. Right. You know, and one place that I know that I haven't, you know, really mingled or done everything I can do is like in the heart of Fort Myers. Like, you know, I've kind of really been in Cape, Bonita, Estero, and Naples. So like, and I feel most of that love from there, and I know that that's a place I still gotta go. Mm-hmm. As far as like what people feel like about me, I understand it. You know, last year this time. There was nobody. I was nobody. I didn't exist. Like who's Chris Daniels? And there's people who've been here their whole lives making music. So like, if you see me everywhere or you see me talking to a lot of people and people mentioning my name, I can understand how you would feel like, you know, that somebody's getting there unjust or they're not getting you're not getting what you deserve. Right. What I would say to that is just like that. You know, my gas tank showed me that I've been everywhere I need to be. Like, right. I showed up, I put the work in, and I'm still nowhere that I want to be as a person. So I really can't get, you know, caught up in how people feel about me. I just think that's just like it's like a mirror of how they feel about themselves and what they want for themselves. I don't think people really be mad at me. Yeah, that's it's weird, man, because people do say their little sneak disses about you, and I'm always throwing it back because you're like the nicest rapper I met. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel it's soft.
It's like, nah, you're not soft. But you're a genuinely nice guy.
Well, I try to be as much as I can, you know, but you know, I think that I just think that you gotta, once you get to that level, you gotta think about Drake. He probably get online every day, and that's a crazy level. And there's 3 million people probably telling him he's soft and he sucks. People gonna hate you no matter what you do. Like, you could be doing everything. You know, I think that I try to, you know, be a part of the community and give love every step of the way. But like, people gonna hate, and I hate saying that, or people are gonna come at you from all kind of ways. They're gonna test that because they want to be in those conversations just as much as you, and that's the game. So you gotta understand that.
So with that being said, with that being the game and all, you had a diss track drop towards you recently. Are you planning on responding, or is like,
if I put my name next to, so the way I look at it is like this: if I put my name next to somebody else's name, that puts us at the same level.
Right,
if you see Drake start responding to somebody in Toronto that you never heard, all of a sudden he gave him value. You're gonna go check for that guy in Toronto. I don't care about putting my name next to people's names that I don't feel like are where I want to be. I want to be Cole. I want to be Kendrick. I don't care about that stuff.
I feel like that's fair, bro. And I feel like you shouldn't respond. I feel like, not just you, I feel like nobody here should diss each other. Like,
I'm all for hip hop though. Like, I'm all for the wax, but like, it's gotta make sense. It's gotta make sense, and it's gotta be, you know, something that's worthy of being responded to. You know what I mean? I want to feel like I'm being challenged in a way that makes sense. I'm not gonna play the game to give somebody attention because they want to, you know, they just want to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah. Did when you heard the record, were you bothered by it, or you just didn't really care?
Well, my opinion of the record was just like, yo, I wonder what I could have done to make somebody mad enough to spend their money or spend their time making this record. Because like, I'm gonna go in the studio and try to make music that other people want to listen to. So I, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't hate nobody enough to want to do that. Nobody's worth my time like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Like, we're not nobody. You know,
we're not. That's my whole point,
who
bro.
am I? Like, who? You know,
bro. That's my whole point.
Too much energy on me.
The past like 2 weeks, bro, it's been like people sneak dissing, and my whole thing is like, for what? Like, we're not. None of us. Even those that signed, we're not millionaires. We're not. So what's the point? Like, and it's a small. Listen,
it's because it's a small place.
Listen, and people need to understand this, bro. We're in a small city, but the creative culture, the local scene, is even smaller, bro. We're not in the grand scheme of Southwest Florida. We really don't matter
At all.
We don't. Like, we think we matter. We really
the people don't know us. It's
people
like,
don't know us.
Girls don't know us. It's
nobody knows us. These mayors, they don't fucking know us.
So
you know
you're
what I'm
not
saying?
really moving like that.
So we're dissing each other before we even get a chance to grow. And we all perform at the same venues. We're gonna
Everywhere. You're gonna run into each other. It's everything. So like, I feel like people are always thinking that you're fighting for ears, and you don't understand. Like, people listen to multiple people all over the place. I'm not fighting for your one piece of the pie. Like, I'm trying to be the man. I'm not trying to be the man in Southwest Florida. And that's back to you talking about that list. We get so caught up on this like idea of trying to be the man here. This is one area,
one small area
in Florida.
A small state. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you want to be the real man, like, you got to go out and start thinking about something bigger than, am I better than the guy who lives across the block from me? That's crazy.
You get it. You understand. So now, pushing forward, albums out, events out, your name is buzzing.
It's doing something.
What's next? Like, what? Like, where, for all the artists watching, like, where do you go from here? Like, what?
So I was like kind of conflicted after the show because I felt like, okay, I feel like I've talked to all the people that I felt like are the influencers, and I've done almost everything that I really set out to do that's not radio based this year. And then I was like, maybe I gotta leave, maybe I gotta go. And I started realizing that the whole goal this year was I only put out projects, not for y'all, not for nothing, but to improve myself. And I feel like every project I improved, and in some different way or shape or form. And I just gotta keep doing that. I keep making music. I'm literally 1 year and like 2 months into really caring about music and doing what I gotta do. So my goal right now is to create singles, and like we always talk about, like, do things that's gonna get women more invested in your music, and like you said, branch past being an artist in an artist culture and try to be an artist in a mainstream culture, in a real culture where people actually think that you're a person, that you have value. You know, I want to have value outside of the other artists.
So how would you do that?
I just think that it takes, now you gotta work on your brand, your actual personality. You got to work on your visibility outside the artist community. Like, there's so many things that I want to do, from podcasting and going back to motivational speaking. I want to be a part of everything that I do and everywhere that I am. So I just think that it takes more than just the music. We get caught up on the music. People want you to be a person, a whole person.
But you don't feel like that's spreading yourself too thin?
Nah, so I thought that in the beginning. When I first started, like maybe in October or so, I was doing way too many things at one time. Now I feel like I understand how to control making the music. And I would love to be like surrounded by a team, but now I know what I can do. So there's a couple of things that I know I can start getting into and I can dabble in and start building myself out. And as long as I don't overdo it, it's gonna be great. So I'm prepared for that now. You wear many hats. You understand? Like sometimes you gotta do more than one thing, you know?
Yeah. No, it's important. You gotta do more than one thing. But one thing I learned is it has to remain close to your core.
Of course,
right?
gotta be who you are.
Exactly.
If it's not who you are, then what are you doing?
Exactly. So that leads me to my next question. My next point is, you have this image, right?
What's my image, Bugsy?
To me, right? To me, your image is like Chris Daniels, good guy.
Good guy.
He's like, he reminds me of like a pastor, right? In a way, like you motivate people, but the way you talk and like the way even you deliver your verses, it's like a motivational, inspirational, you know what I'm saying? Coming from a good place.
Like passion, yeah.
Exactly. So that's my image for you, right? And I'm sure it is for other people too, right? Do you feel like sometimes, because I read some of your tweets, and you seem a little frustrated.
There's a lot of things to be frustrated by.
Does it seem like you have to be stuck to your image, like?
So, I've lived with this my whole life before I became, who I'm trying to be now. Like I was feeling like I was stuck in a role. Right. I was on FGCU's campus working. I was like just an advisor. I was leading marches, and I feel like people looked at me as just this role. So when I went back to hip hop, it was like, you can't do that. This is what you do. And so I started, now that I'm here, it's like, yo, he's the guy that gives love. You can't even comment on the BS or the bullshit that you see every day. You can't even talk about what's problematic or why people don't do things or why things don't actually, go further than what they're supposed to. And I was feeling like that. And I don't feel like that no more, because I feel like people, like we were talking about before, people want to know you're a whole person. I'm a full person. Just as much as I have love in my heart, I'm also hurt by the things that happen around me. Right. I'm hurt by what I see, and I'm going to comment on that. It's got to be a part of who I am, of course, because there's a brand that you're building. But my brand is literally me, and that's everything I truly feel. So the love is what I felt, because I came from a place where there was no community and there was no people retweeting and sharing. And so when I got here and I met Eddie, I felt like that was the biggest thing that we did. And I think that was a big thing we contributed to this area, which was showing love and always showing love and being in the studio and taking pics and doing all those things, because I wanted to create that atmosphere that, yo, this is all love. It's always love around me. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit around and clap when there's BS going on, or clap when people do things for attention. I think we got to call out things. That's the only way that you get better as a team.
Is there a point in time where we're going to see Chris Daniels the villain, Chris Daniels the heel?
Like the WWE?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have a reason to be that. Yeah. I mean, but if telling the truth makes you the villain, then so be it. Right. That's how I feel about being the villain. Like, sometimes people don't want the truth. There's a lot of people who don't want the truth. They want to live in a lie. And
do you feel like
a lot of people here.
There's some truth to the statement that's been made that you take pictures with other people in the studio, you bring other people around you in the studio to quote unquote ride their wave?
I came here in 2011 and I watched the scene for years and I never was a part of it. Yeah. I was watching for years and I never was a part of it. And once I realized that there was something I can actually get into, everybody that I've always wanted to do things with, I started to reach out and started to do things with. The studio sessions are my sessions, and I bring people in because I like that. Sessions that I pay for, and I bring people in because I like to be creative and I like to work with people. The biggest problem I've seen in this area when I first got here is that you had all these cliques, but they widely didn't use it with each other, and they didn't know about each other. And so I wanted to do something with Cannon. I wanted to do something with Rock. I want to do something with Woods. I want to do something. I still want to do stuff with Nate and Eddie Rock and all these different people. Like, I just was in the studio with June. I want to be, I want to be, everywhere. And I want to be a part of the culture. Like, I actually care about the city. Like, I'm not just saying it because it's cool right now, because everybody's wearing that we care about the city. But if you ask them to do something for the city, they're not really about that. I really want to see everybody win. And I don't think that we can win by being separate. I feel like you actually got to do stuff together. And that's how you get each other's bases and their communities to start understanding who each other are. And that's how you live up together. You got to care about each other as an artist platform. So, like, I don't do it for, like, whatever nobody's wave or whatever it is, because I feel like I'm good enough at creating my own buzz. I've been my own person.
I feel like you bring people around you in a selfless way, right? Like, you don't do it, at least I don't feel it when I've come around you. It's never been because, yo, Bugsy, I want to steal what you know what I'm saying? It's
I
always been
need
like,
what you got, so just come through, give it to me, and get out of here.
It's always been like, I just want you here just to vibe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get I just want people to have their ears on stuff so we can just talk about music. We be in there talking about real life and real stuff all the time. It don't ever just be music.
Yeah. I think some people don't understand that.
That's cool.
And I think some people are just low key just upset that they're not invited.
A lot of people not in the studio be mad that they're not in the studio, but I can't help that part, you know?
Man, so
everybody need a facility pick this year though. That's the move. You gotta be at the facility, get your picture. I know you got plenty of them.
Who, me?
Yeah, you got
I don't know why I'm not a rapper, but yeah. I feel like you made a great deal of progression.
Okay, yeah.
Compared to last year.
Yeah.
And I keep hearing this reoccurring theme of you're not happy, you're not satisfied.
Of course not.
Do you at least stop and think like, yo, I've come a long way?
I get it from my dad. My dad never sits back and pats himself on the back, so I just kind of like don't do that either because there's enough people who try to pat you on the back. You can get complacent with that. So I do take the time to be like, yo, last September, today my birthday. So last September, I appreciate that. Last September on my birthday, I was partying and nobody in the city knew my name. Yeah. And that was cool, for that time period. Now a lot more people know me, but my only goal is to be J. Cole, or to be Kendrick, is to be Jay-Z. Right. So, I'm nowhere near that. So I don't even take that time. There's no reason to. There's so much work to be done. I don't want to be patting myself on the back for too long. You know what I mean? And I feel like people do that. They see they get that one feature, they get that one moment, they get that curate mention, and they're like, yo, I'm cool. And then for 2 months, 3 months, it's like no work. I just can't stop working. Yeah. I'm addicted to wanting it.
People get caught up in the small wins.
Yeah, I don't want that. So I have come far, but I haven't come nowhere near close to nothing,
Do you have some new music dropping soon?
We got plenty of music that's in the vault. As far as something coming soon, I think that I'm gonna release something within the next, 3 weeks.
Are we gonna get another Chris Daniels show?
No time soon. No time soon. If you wasn't there, you missed it, But
I feel like you should do another one, bro. Not like now, but
and not no time. But I don't feel like it's
you're
coming.
You're a good performer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. When I have my voice, it's yeah, you can hear what I'm saying. I think it's all dope. You know what I mean? You gonna get back on wax? We're gonna see that before the end of the year. You gonna come out of retirement? You gonna be done Joe Buttoning us?
No. I'm straight. Stupid. All right, man. Glad to have you, bro.
Yes, sir. We did.
Great conversation. We did about time.
Yo, I wanted this for so long, so it happened for me, man. Yeah.